Right, hey guys, right, welcome back. It's been almost a month since the Indycar, and you know how well that turned out. It's next model time. I went to the Birmingham Toy Fair today at the NEC, and I had a really good time. Me and the wife went, and I managed to pick up 4 kits, and some of them were real bargains, I can tell you that now. Well, this is the first of the 4 kits that I've bought. Right, as you can see, it is the AMT 124 Munster Koach from the TV show The Munsters. Box, you can see the family there, and a picture of the car, and some pictures of the car again on the other side. And then you got like a little thing on the back there. Right, you got the actual interior tub. Not bad moulded. You've got all the various lines there on the seats, much like the Ecto 1 kit where it's a tub. Then you got the actual shell. Now I've got a bit of concern about this, because the actual cabin, as it were, is actually mounted on to the shell. It's not a separate part that you'd put on top, because painting the interior is going to be a pain in the arse trying to get my brush in there. So I don't know whether to cut off that line, or maybe cut the roof off and then put the roof back on later. To be honest, I am leaning towards taking the roof off so I can get into the interior. But not bad moulded at all, not too bad. I apologise, there's not much sunshine coming through the window, so you're not going to really see much detail. And you've got some engine bits, sorry, some of the outer bits there. You've got the wheel arches there, steering wheel, some supports, and the actual front windscreen. Then you've got some of the engine parts, and 2 bucket seats, all detailed with the the raised detailing. Now on the side of the box it says full race slicks, but they're made out of plastic. And you could probably just make out there the 3D, you could say, Firestone and the various other logos on the tyres. I think I might have to do what I did on the Mansell. Just go over in the white and then tidy it around the edges with whatever paint I used to paint the tyres. You can just see it there. Then you've got the actual lower chassis, you got that there, all moulded in black. A bit more of the tyres is there. Then you've got the engine parts, which are more casted in chrome. Not bad at all. I don't know whether to scrape the chrome off and redo them, but I think I might just leave them with the chrome there like that. And you've got some clear parts for the windows and the actual axle rods for the wheels. Decals is just decals. The instruction is just one sheet. To be honest, the actual construction sheet is actually very, very vague. Very vague indeed. So that's something I'm going to have to contend with. I have to do a lot of research on this. Decals are really good as well. It looks like you've got decals for the 60s show, and then you've got the revised crest for the actual 90s TV show. I don't know why those decals are on there, Marilyn, Herman and Grandpa and Eddie, because it tells you on the sheet that you've got to put them onto the side of the doors. But looking at some photos, I'm not sure if they actually are supposed to be mounted on there, so I'm going to have to check again to do my massive research. And then last but not least, they give you a 3D like cardboard display stand. You got the instructions on the back there, and you got a picture of the family. So that would slop on there somewhere. I think that goes on there like that, and then you got the actual Munster Koach, and that goes on the back there like that. I'm not sure whether to use that yet. But a lot of research I've got to do due to AMT's vagueness. I'm actually quite shocked at this, because AMT usually do detailed instructions. But let's see where I get on with this with the instructions. Stay with me. Right guys, as you can see, I've started construction on the Munster Koach. There's not much, but it is something. Now going on to the vague plans, because none of these, there's no numbers to each corresponding part. It's like a stage and then the actual description of the part. So basically, because these parts are numbered, I'll just demonstrate on the chrome. You can make out 211 there, 201 there. They are numbered, but not on the instructions. So it tells you to glue the two halves of the main engine block, which I've done. As you can see, it's not very big. So that's that. Then it tells you to glue these, well, put these three parts together, the generator and pulley assembly. I haven't glued any of these, I've just slotted them in through the holes. There's a main hole there, and then on the back of the fan there's a peg that holds all those three together, and you get that. And that's like that. I don't know why that's up there, because there's nothing for that to connect to as far as I could see. But that's done, as you can see. Now moving on to the wheels, then in two halves you've got like a little walled lip which sits into the inside of the rear tyres, which is the ones with the Firestone logo on. You can just make out the Firestone logos there, and the other bits which I'll have to put in white again. So those are done, both rear tyres. And then you've got the front tyres, which again there it tells you to put those two together. Again, there's one lipped and one with the indentated lip to push the lip into. And you can see I've got a massive long seam all the way around the tyres, the front wheels, to deal with before I get ready for primer. So that's those done. Then you've got the chassis, which is just basically one piece. I'm obviously going to primer that in the grey primer and then go over with a black gloss. So that's all ready to be done. Now you've got the chrome pieces. You've got the actual manifold tubing, the actual exhausts, and then you've got the valve covers. Now it tells you in the instructions to scrape all the chrome off the bottom where you've got a glue to give it a better adhesion. So that's what I've done on both those. And on the back of the Cobra, you can see the Cobra lettering there. Just turn it over, you can see I've scraped all the chrome off there. So that is now ready for primer and construction. Stay with me guys. Okay guys, welcome back. As you can see, all the parts are now primered. Not too bad at all. As you can see on the engine there, I've took care of the seam, most of it. But you're not going to see that one there once that tubing's on. I've also done the generator and pulley assembly. I'm just going to paint that as well, obviously. Tyres have gone really well. You can see the Firestone a bit more better there now. I'm not going to paint these in black. I'm going to paint the wheels in anthracite and take it from there. Wheels ain't too bad. The seam's mostly gone. I'm probably going to do a bit more work on those. Where's the other one? There it is. That one's not too bad. Still a bit of seam work I've got to do there. But not too bad at all. Stay with me. Hi guys, welcome back. As you can see, the chassis has now been completed. I've spray painted the actual chassis itself in the Halford's gloss black. While that was drying, I painted the tyres in anthracite, all four tyres. And then once the paint had dried on the tyres, then I mounted the chrome rims in. On the rear tyres, they were very, very hard to get in. I nudged them in with my thumb, and then it went in that side a bit, then I pushed on that side a bit, and then I pushed it down on the table and pushed it down with my thumb, and eventually they clicked into place, no glue required. On the front ones, they went in dead easy, and I actually had to glue those in, so those are done. Now you can see the Firestone on all the other logos on the tyres, I haven't painted them. I tried painting on the white, like I did on the engine on the Nigel Mansell Indycar, but it looked really crap. So I don't know if I can get some 125 F1 decals or Indycar decals with the Firestone, because I don't know if they're going to be the right size. So I don't know, I'm going to try and source those. If not, I'll just leave them in the anthracite. You can also see that I've mounted the engine in now. I painted the engine in still. You can also see the Cobra on both sides. The engine tops there mounted in. I also glued the engine exhausts on, pushed the one into place, then put a bit of glue down the middle, then the middle edge, and then put the other one into place, obviously glued underneath, and then the glue that was on the middle has held them together really nice. You can also see that I've mounted it onto the chassis now. There's a little section there you mount it in with a hole, and then you just push that up and nudge that into that little crack there, and then just put a drop of glue on top and bottom. But all I've got to do now is just seal it, but the chassis is all done. Stay with me. Right, welcome back guys, just a quick update. Now I've done the chassis, it's time to start work on the interior tub. If you remember from the outer box review, the interior tub was in black. So basically what I did, instead of using the grey primer, I've spray painted in white primer. You can see it's not 100%, it's just a quick blast in each section, because I know if I paint the red on top of grey primer, it's going to turn out a dark purpley red. And you can see on the pictures that it's actually a bright red. So hence why I've used the white primer, so to give it a lighter base coat for the red to go onto. Also, again in the white primer, I've done the two front seats, which are bucket seats, and they will go in there once they're done. But that is where I'm sitting at the moment, guys. Stay with me. Right, the first coat of red has gone down. Not too bad at all. I mean, yeah, you can see the brush strokes because I've painted it by hand, but as I put a second and maybe a third or maybe even a fourth coat on, those brush strokes will disappear as the red goes down. Not bad first coat. Also on the bucket seats as well, not too bad. You can see that I've took the wheels off the axles off of the chassis, because while I was waiting for this to dry, I decided to go ahead and seal the wheels and the chassis, because I hadn't sealed it on the previous update. So that's where I'm sitting. Stay with me. Four coats of red later and a bit of construction, the interior is finished. Once I'd done the four coats of red, I then painted the floored areas with the black by hand. Also, again, the bucket seats, that took four coats as well. On the mounting sections underneath the bucket seats, I painted those in black. I then sealed the floor and the seats with the Humboldt matte coat, because I don't think it's leather on the seats, I think it's actually like a fabric. Once that had dried, I then glued the seats in. Also glued the steering wheel in and the actual gear changer. You can see that the steering wheel arm is in black. The steering wheel itself is in the red. The actual steering support arms for the steering wheel are in steel, and the horn is in black. The actual gear changing lever, that's black, and the gear change lever knob there, that's in the red. So I glued those in. I've also glued the actual instrument panel in as well, painted that in black. I'm not going to do anything with it. It's a shame they didn't put decals for the instrument panel. But that's pretty much it. The interior's all done. Underneath, I'm probably going to do that in the black, because I don't know how much of that's going to show once I put it into the actual the body shell. But that's where I'm sitting, guys. Stay with me.